Okay, welcome to the AD 04303 information retrieval. So this is week number one. Week number one, we will look into the overview of the course. So this is third year course. So the requirement for this course is you must be able to do some programming, and also you are expert in statistics. So for the first week, we will just have an overview, and if you have any question regarding the course, you can type your question in the chat. Okay? Okay. Basically, in this course, we are focusing on two skills, which is the understanding of the basic concept. So you must be able to know what concept we are discussing at certain point, because there are so many concepts that you can solve the problem. So depending on the situation, depending on the information provided to you, you should be able to know what kind of skill or what kind of solution that you should provide. At the same time, also you will learn how to build a document retrieval system. Basically, this is just a basic step-by-step procedure. So they guide you on how you can create model, enable you to retrieve some information. The nearest example is like the Google. When you type any keyword, so they will give you a list of solution, a list of retrieve document. Sometimes they rank the document. Sometimes, most of the time, they rank the document. And that the process behind the operation, you will learn how they compare, how they do the ranking, and so on. So you will learn the basic concept, technique, and also you will learn hands-on practical on how to do some of the problem solving that we will do in this course. So the course learning outcome, at the end of the course, you should be able to explain the basic concept and technique, how you use the model in order to solve the problem. And then you should be able to demonstrate the differences between unsupervised and supervised. So for those who have taken data mining or machine learning, then you know what is the difference between unsupervised and supervised machine learning. But if you have not studied that, it's okay, you will learn in this course. And lastly, we are looking at the how do you use the supervised and unsupervised learning in order to solve the problem of retrieving information. So if you look at the assessment here, for the first one, ALO1, because we are testing your knowledge, so we are looking at the assignment and also the quizzes. Okay? So you should be getting full mark for assignment and 10% for the quizzes, because they are quite easy. The assignment is straightforward. The quizzes is you will take from the itel.ums online, and for the PLO3, we are looking at your hands-on skill and also knowledge in unsupervised and supervised learning. So we will have the midterm or test 20% and practical lab 20%. Okay, and finally is the final exam 40%. Okay, based on experience, based on past semester, most students would be able to get almost full mark for PLO1 and PLO3. get like 55 or 57, or some even get 60 out of 60. In most cases, they having problem in the final exam because they are not able to apply the solution to the problem presented during the final exam, which I will twist a little bit. So you should be able to be more creative in solving the question. So that's why when you do your assignment, make sure you understand what you are doing. Even if you copy from your friend, uh, copying is one of the technique to learn. Okay, you copy and you learn. You just don't copy and submit. You have to copy and make sure that whatever you copy is correct. Don't simply just copy. Okay, sometimes during my time, we do it on our own first, then we compare our solution. If they are the same, then it could be right. But if they're different, so we need to find the right solution so that we can get the same answer. In programming, for one problem, you could solve them in many ways. So the logic of the program could be different, but it will solve the problem. It will give you the same answer as well. So this is your course assessment: 20% midterm, 20% assignment, 10% quizzes, 10% lab practical, and 40% final exam. Okay. Okay, this is our plan. Study plan. So we will have 5 sessions face to face. We will have 5 sessions video conference, and we will have 4 sessions for online activity. So for the 5 face to face, we will meet in week 3. Okay? For the video conference, we will start today, and also for next week you will have an online activity. So what happened in the online activity? Will give you some resources. For example, pre-recorded session last semester. And you go through the video, and at the end of the video, you will have some exercise that you need to do. So the one that I put online activity, I purposely selected the topic that is straightforward. Straightforward means anyone can learn that one by reading or by watching the video. Those who have those session that need explanation, example, I will not put it as online activity. For example, for a user interface for search, they will explain to you what kind of interface that we have for searching. Then we also have the classic modeling tool, which is some of the exercise that you require to do once you have studied classic modeling 1 and 2. So this is just like a revision for you. Then similar to supervised text classification, we change it. So similar to this, online activity and then the topic modeling. So for this one, maybe we will meet to do some revision. Okay. So the PTG was designed to let more independent study for the student. Okay, so that's why we have F54 here. Okay, so any question on this? Okay, the book that we'll be using, The book is quite expensive. This one. Let's see. The book is quite expensive, but most of them you can find from the internet, the reference, the example, and so on. But the example that we have in the slide and also in the lecture, it's good enough. We also will do some uh, practical tutorial. So about the book talk about the um, computer algorithm and technique used in information retrieval. They also explain how the IR was used by the librarian or the information science researcher. So before we start, I would like to introduce myself. Um, so my name is Rainer Alfred. Been working with the UMS since 1999, so almost 24 years. Um, I got my degree from Polytechnic University in Brooklyn, New York, studying computer science. Right after my Form 5, we went to this center of preparation to go to overseas, like for 1 year plus. Then after that, we sent to the States to further our study. And after my degree, I continue under scholarship also in Michigan, Western Michigan University, USA, studying computer science as well. So after that, I came back, worked for a few years. I graduated in 1997, master. 1997, I went back, and then in 2004, I continued my PhD in England, in York University, computer science. But my area of expertise is more into machine learning, data mining, and this information retrieval. So that's why I didn't teach the first and second year the general course. So my focus is more into machine learning, data mining, and also information retrieval. Okay. So uh, was born in Kota Kinabalu, stay in Kudat. My kampung is in Tuaran, Tenggilan, and now I can consider myself as orang Keke lah. Okay. So any question? So I give you time. Maybe you have any question that you want to ask me. Jadi orang English. Jadi masih lagi orang dusun. Okay, so saya orang dusun Lotut dari Tenggilan, Tuara. Okay. So the objective for today is just to give you an overview of the course. So you know that what topic you'll be studying and what will be the expected knowledge that you should have at the end of the course. Um, so when we talk about this, let me post this one first. So, when we talk about information retrieval, we always look at what can be retrieved from your um, computer. So, for example, you have the document stored in your directory. We also have web pages. We also have document uploaded into the internet. We also have online catalog. We also have structured record. This is more into database. We also have multimedia objects, video, images, audio, and many more. So all the data is stored in binary. So this is your data. This is your data, and basically they are in binary. So the computer doesn't know the concept. They don't know about the meaning about certain words. When you say computer science, when you say software engineering, when you say data science, and so on, they, they do not understand what is the concept. So, but they are looking at certain pattern of the concept. So all the concept here, like the ABC 1, 2, 3, all will be translated into or converted into binary. So the issue now is when we store our information in the computer, how do we organize the document? Then how do we retrieve the document? Okay. So for example, the early goal of IR is we are looking at the trying to retrieve document from your computer. Okay, so basically what they have is they will use the index file in order to mark or to tag your document. So whenever you type in the keyword will, for example, this one is compute, so it will bring you to this particular document, and then they will retrieve this document for you. Okay. So they will use the indexing text, and then the searching is used to match the keyword with the keyword that store in the your hash file. So this is your hash file, index file. So nowadays, research in IR include modeling. How do you model this storage? How do you perform the web search? How do you perform the ranking of the document? Which one is more relevant with respect to the query? Okay, how do you classify your document? Okay, how do you develop an effective user interface? And then how do you visualize the content of the document and the content of the whole, no, the relationship between all the document that you have. Okay. Okay. During the 50s, most research are initiated by this guy. This is a very famous one. So Han Peter Learn, Eugene Philip Kelvin, and they coined the term information retrieval. Okay. So the nowadays the characteristic of online um, information retrieval system, we are looking at the centralized storage. We are looking at the real-time communication. We are looking at the modern process. How do you retrieve the document? We are looking at direct access to the document and many more. But this guy, they started in 50s. This guy, they are working on the research area called information retrieval. So in 1962, Cyril Cleverdon published a Cranfield study on retrieval evaluation. So this one they are talking about how do you evaluate the quality of result given the query. So how do you say this is high accuracy or low accuracy. In 1963, they are looking at first book on information retrieval. So this is very, very good book, the basic foundation of information retrieval. So by the way, you will learn about the recall and precision, and we are looking at this Venn diagram. We will look at this, how do we define recall and precision with respect to the quality of data retrieval that we get from the system. Then later on in the next late 60, they introduced this TF-IDF term weighting scheme. So this is how they represent the document for the system. This is how the computer compute and convert the document into this format called TF frequency dash low battery. Okay, coming back. Okay, so am I still connected? Okay, so everything is okay, right? So, so this is the model that they use to represent document in the computer, in the eyes of the computer. Okay, so we will use the FIDF modeling to represent each document, and we will also use the TF-IDF to retrieve the document. So you will learn this one more. So this is a formula that you need to understand later on. And in 1971, we have this Jardine and One Rich version. They introduced the cluster hypothesis. So the cluster hypothesis referring to how do we cluster the document based on the content. Okay, based on the content of the document. So it is easier for us to match the document, classify the document, or group the document based on the content. So the images that you see below is just an illustration. What is the cluster look like? Some cluster they have big um, cluster because they have more document. Some cluster are very small because they have less document. And each of these cluster may be related to each other. For example, this one we have actually four main cluster. So this is very interesting course because you will learn how do you retrieve document, and then how do you cluster document, at the same time also how do you classify document. And then in 1978, they have the first conference, the first information table conference. And then in 1978, a book titled Probabilistic Model was published. So basically, they are looking at how they apply the statistics and probability in order to retrieve your document. Okay, and then in 1983, Salton and McGill published a book called Introduction to Modern IR, so focusing more into vector and model. So di sini you look at one of the arrow is called one vector, and then they are looking at the the degree here referring to the degree of differences between the global topic and also the sentence that we have. So you will also learn about this vector model. So we have two documents like this. This is document A, this is document B. So our main objective is to reduce this gap so that the document A and B are almost similar to each other, means they are both, no, A is relevant to B and B is relevant to A. So we will learn about vector model as well. So the reason why we start the history from 1950s, because we want to look at the evolution of IR technology or IR model. So by looking at that, you also will learn each one of the model, and then you will appreciate more why we study this, because that is part of the IR evolution technique that we have. And for the librarian, they adopt the IR system for retrieving the book. If you remember, last time we used a manual catalog book. So now they have this system where you type the topic, or you type the number of the book, and you can find where is the book. So now you only can the subject heading and keyword, then you can retrieve the document, where is the book or document that you are looking at. And also we have now the improved graphical interface, electronic form, and hypertext features that you can get from the internet. So what is actually the problem that we are looking in this course? So we are looking at the problem of retrieving relevant document with respect to your query. So query is information that you require to. I know by now you should know what is Chat GPT, right? So that is a good tool for you to enhance your study pace. Study pace means it will cut down your time to do Googling and summarizing. So with the ChatGPT, it will summarize for you, but still you need to understand. You still need to digest what are the summarized text that you get from ChatGPT. And by studying this course, you will know the process behind ChatGPT, how they retrieve documents, and so on. So going back to this, a single fact changed this perception when we have the introduction of the web. So when we have the web, we have millions of documents uploaded, stored in the web. So the problem now is that how are we going to search? How are we going to organize the document? So we need to have a good retrieval system. A good retrieval system that will match the query, the question that we post, and we should be getting the most relevant document. We have billion of documents posted in the internet. So when you look at this diagram, this is you want to look for certain information. You type in the query, and this is the retrieval system. They have all the documents stored in the server. So what they want to do is they want to match your query with the document that they have. So they will do the matching. So when they do matching, they are not actually do a perfect matching that we did in database. In database, if you still remember, you say select name where first name is John from this table. So in database, we are looking at exact matching. For information retrieval, we are looking at the degree of relevancy. Okay, much how similar these two query and also the document that we have. So once we have a few results, then all the relevant document will be presented to you. They will be ranked. They will be ranked. And there is a way on how you rank the document based on the value of similarity that we have. And it will be presented to you. Okay, with the help of AI, they look at your query here. Basically, they use the natural language processing. Okay, and the natural language processing, they study the sentence, the structure of the sentence or the context of the keyword being used in the query. Then they will try to retrieve the document from their collection. And then once they retrieve, they will summarize. They will summarize according to the context of the text used in your query. Okay, so the difference between information retrieval and ChatGPT is that IR only rank the document. ChatGPT retrieve, look at the context of the word that being used in your query. They will summarize the no. They will look at 10 relevant document and then they will perform one more process called summarize. Okay? And then they will present to you. Okay, so the issue here is that when we present the query, for example, we want to find all documents that address the role of federal government in financing the operation of Amtrak. So which one is more important? The role of federal or financing or operation of Amtrak. So our role is how do we retrieve document that is almost similar to the requirement of the information presented here. How do we measure the document with this? So we will learn that one. We will learn how do we compare, and then how do we rank the document based on the info query that we posted earlier. So whatever information required, you need to transform them into query. So that's why a good query will give you a good result of document presented to you. But in most cases, if you do not have a good background about the topic that you want to do, then you will see everything is also similar or relevant because you cannot differentiate which document is more relevant compared to other because you do not have the background. But if you are expert in certain area, then when you try to retrieve a certain document, you can differentiate which one is relevant, which one is not relevant. So when we talk about IR, we are talking about the degree of relevance. Degree of relevance telling you how similar the document with respect to the query. And the key goal of IR system is to retrieve all the items that are relevant to the user query while trying not to retrieve the non-relevant item. Okay, so the notion of relevant is of central of importance in IR. So we always look at this degree of relevance. Okay, consider a user who seek information on topic. So what happens is that this is you look for certain information, and this is the document collection they will present to you. Okay? And this you do the searching. We have the document, then they will present you the result, and you are not satisfied, perform searching again and so on. If you say the document is relevant, then you start browsing, and you say, okay, not satisfied, then you go for searching new keyword again. So this is the main user task that you normally have. Okay, so just now I mentioned about the database and also the information retrieval. The main differences between data retrieval in database is that they are looking for exact matching. But for information retrieval, they are looking how similar the query with the document that you're going to retrieve. So in IR, we're looking at the degree of relevancy. In database, we're looking at exact matching. So I can say that data retrieval does not solve the problem of retrieving information about a subject or topic. Instead, they are looking at the concept or the overall or the content of your document. Okay, let's take a look at the architecture of IR system. So we know that what topic we will be studying in this course. Okay? So before we can use the Google searching, Google must have a server farm that store all the document that they have. So what happened? They use the web crawler to harvest all the document that store in the web. And then they will analyze the content, and they will use the index file in order to index them and have them ready to be used. So we have process like crawling process. Okay, we have a program given the seed point here referring to the URL address, and it will harvest the content. And if you have hypertext links, it will follow the next page, harvest that one, and continue until there are no more hypertext links. And that is crawling process. And the indexing process is just a matter of indexing each of the documents so that they have keyword that they can use in order to be retrieved. And this is you. Okay, now you are here, and then you put in a query, and then they look at your query, process your query, understand your query, and then based on your query here, they will match with your index file here, and then present you with the rank here. Okay? So this is the retrieval and ranking process. Okay, what you will be studying is only this part. We will learn the process of retrieval and ranking document. We will not study crawling process and also indexing process. This is in another subject due to the fact that we only have 14 weeks. This is another angle. So another angle is that given the user interface, and then you type the query, and then your query might be transformed to another format in order to widen the search domain. So you may have the query expansion and modification in order to get the right document. And then once you have the keyword here, they will match with the um, index file. This is your document retrieve, and I will perform the ranking, and you have the rank. In 1 second. So that is the basic process of indexing, retrieving, and ranking. So we have the indexing process here. This is your document, and they will look at the content of the document, and they use that keyword to be used as index in the index file. And this is how you retrieve them, and then this is how you ranking them. So we will be focusing on the retrieval and also the ranking. Any question? Okay. The rise of the IR is because of the web. Because we have a lot of document in information stored in the internet. Okay. So for example, now web search today is the most prominent application. So you need to be able to do the ranking and also the indexing component of any search engine. Okay. So these are the impact of the web. The first one is the crawling. So they invented a few algorithms on how to effectively harvest the information from your web. Okay, so sometimes they ask you, are you a robot or not robot? That is to detect whether you are a crawler that harvests their web page or not. So this is a program. They will crawl the web page and store in the file, and then once you store in the file, then the user can uh, perform the query and then give you the result. Okay. The second major impact is um, the ability to retrieve your document effectively. So we need to study how to retrieve the document more efficiently and how far, okay, how much we can cover. Scalability of your search. The third one is because we have all the document that we have, so now we can do how to predict the document is more relevant with respect to the other uh, document. So we should be able to perform prediction of the um, relevancy of the document because we can have so many samples that we can get from the internet. The fourth one is the web will become medium for you to do business because you have the e-commerce and everything. So we could find the price of the book, we could find phone number of the book, so we can find the link, downloading, software. And the fifth one is the spam. So if you're looking for certain information, sometimes they trick you to go to a website that will install spam in your web. Okay, some of the practical issue on the web: security, privacy, copyright, scanning, and so on. So these are some of the issues that we need to tackle in relation to the web. Okay. Okay. So we're reaching here. This is what we plan to do for this semester. So we will not study this. We will not study this. We will study this. The topic cover will cover all this. Today we are here, you know, and in week 14 we should be here. So these are all the process that we will study. So next week you will study this. This is an online activity. An online activity means you will be watching my video talking about this and do the exercise at the end of the week, at the end of the video. And third week we will talk about this modeling and so on, so on, so on. So once we get here, hopefully in week 14 your standing is still A. That is our aim. So my objective for the course is everyone should be getting at least B. Okay, so that's it for today. Do you have any question? Any question? No? Yes? Still there? So if you are still there, can you type number 1? Okay, please.